Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We're here, man. We're Agree to Disagree, the show that brings you the latest debate on a Friday, man. Talking all things Premier League, talking all things football, to be honest with you, because we got a lot of things to talk about. We got a man like Dan Potts in the building. Dan, how are you, man?
I'm very good, man. I'm enjoying the sunshine, man. The summer's finally here. August, it's a beautiful August. It was horrendous June and July for weather, but I'm happy, man. The sun is shining and football is back, Saeed. Come on.
Come on. Love that, man. You know what I'm saying too? We got man like Just Joe. Listen, it ain't easy. That's all I'm going to say, man. It ain't easy.
Football was back last weekend. What are you on about, Dan? Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good right now, so yeah. But I'm all right. I'm glad to be talking Premier League, not Championship for a change.
Yeah, big up. To be fair, we got a one player that's linked to the Premier League. I think he's actually going to Brighton, so we can discuss that as well. We got a man like Dan in the building, man. What you say, Dan? All good?
Yes, mate. Good to be back. I'll tell you what, I'm buzzing for this Premier League to get started. I've been doing my fantasy team all day, fiddling, messing with it, man. I can't wait. I've got like the pre-season jitters now. I just need to get the balls in play, man, and just start seeing what's happening. So yeah, good to be here and buzzing to be on with all you boys.
Yep, absolutely. And we got man like Roms in the building. Roms, what are you saying, man?
Similar to Dan, I've changed my FPL team like 700 times today. But big up, because I've not streamed with Potts, Joe, and Dan for a while, man. So big up the panel, big up the chat. And yes,
absolutely. Big up to everyone who's locked in. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what's mad here? Like, I don't know, is everyone ready for the Premier League, or is it one of them where let's just crack on now? Like, it's done. It's like, is everyone actually ready? Because I feel like pre-season was yesterday, because we had like United playing and whatnot, and it's like I feel like it's been rushed. this kind of Premier League? I don't know what you lot are thinking, man, but
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm sick. I actually want this window to shut. I actually get
oh,
annoyed.
Oh, I don't. I'm still in hope.
yeah, not Liverpool.
I signed no one yet.
Yeah, not Liverpool.
No, I'm with you, Roms. If it shuts now, Arsenal ain't done enough. But I just want it. I want us, everyone to get their business done and get this out of the way. Because like the season starts tomorrow, you wouldn't know it because everyone's still talking about people going here, there, and everywhere, man. Like for me, I don't know why. Maybe I'm old school, but I feel like the transfer window should shut and then the season starts. I hate this. Like it goes into it all the time. I absolutely hate that. And I know that we tried that before and then it wasn't fair because it wasn't across Europe. It was just Premier League side. So everyone else was still doing business. So they're like, oh, that's no longer fair. I say just shut it at a certain date and then everyone can start. And then we can actually look forward to it. Because the amount of times that I've gone into the season, like, is he still going to be here? I mean, he's on the bench, but is Eddie going to be here? Like, he's going to be on our bench tomorrow, but he ain't going to be playing for Arsenal much longer. Reece Nelson, likewise. We've got like a few other players up in the air, like Aaron Ramsdale. Like Arsenal still haven't done all their business, and we've still not got all our players in, and we're starting the season. It just feels mad. But listen, it feels rushed, but I don't think it will be long before we don't really have breaks in football. We'll just have a few weeks here and there, and it will just be literally throughout the whole of the year, man. So I'm ready for it, though. I've missed it, and I have missed it, to be honest with you. And I'm glad it's back, man.
Yeah, real talk, but real talk. Let's focus on Arsenal because, like, Man City, no Rodri for Chelsea. Things are not looking great. Shout out to Oscar Bob. I think for me, man, big loss for them. You know what I mean? I think he had a good preseason, talented player. Whether you think whether he plays for a rival club or not, man, we don't want to see injuries to players like that, man, because they're actually good players, man. But Ron, to start with you, man. Arsenal, it's like I said they must, yeah, but obviously I speak to some of the fan base. They're saying maybe we need a striker. Things are not really done yet. Marino needs to be over the line, like. If they don't win it this year, like, I don't know, bro. Like, do you reckon they'll ever win it?
Do you know what I'll start off saying, Saeed? Right. I do think Arsenal win the FA Cup this year. I think Arteta, where he's kind of, let's say, disrespected those trophies, putting out weaker teams. We did it under Klopp in his earlier years, and I think the penny drop for Klopp kind of, you know what, we're going for the big two, but if you don't win them, you can still fall back on the domestic cups. I do think Arsenal win something. However, as that Dan, the Arsenal fan base and whatnot, I feel like because their squad is capable to win the league and they have improved each season. Yes, not with a trophy. That you can't quantify their progression necessarily with a trophy, but they've gone from, I can't remember this season when you're well ahead and then you bought it, and then last year you took it to the last day. It is closing that gap. I still think they win the league, but Arsenal for me are more than capable to get over the line now. And I think if they just get that strike, because I was actually of the opinion early in the window, they scored their most goals in a Premier League campaign last season. Havertz, he didn't work in the midfield, but they moved him into, maybe it was too little too late, moved him into the central midfield role, and he had a good back end to the season. But then I do look at the games like, I think City away was a good draw, but I do feel like maybe if Arsenal had that clinical 9 or Villa games where they drop points, it's very fine margins when you're going for the league. I know that better than anyone. It's very fine margins. So I'm kind of looking around thinking maybe they do now need that striker. This is another thing, it's the mentality. And that's why I think if they was to win a domestic cup, it can kind of help them. And you could argue maybe the Carabao will be better to win because it's in season. It could probably boost the morale for that team. But yeah, I still think they'll fall short. But like Dan said earlier, there's still 2 weeks left in the window. And if I was Arsenal now, I would go and get that 9. At the start, if you asked me at the start of the window, I said, I don't really think they need a 9. But they do. I think just to get over the line and just to get over that margin, they need a striker. So I still have them second. But if they do win it, I'm not surprised. It's not like, oh my God, Arsenal won the league. They've got a capable and a squad. Yeah, they still got a capable 11 and a squad to do it. But I just feel they strengthened where they didn't really need to. Like signing Calafiori, I'm jealous because I did want Minecraft to sign him, but they had no problems defensively. It is going forward more for them. So yeah, man, I think it goes down to the last day again. I think they run City all the way, but I think they fall short again, and it will be frustrating for the Arsenal fans. To be fair,
the thing is a striker. I don't see Arteta wanting a striker. I'll be real with you. Like I think he talked about Jesus being a different Jesus, and even though we all know this Jesus always turns up in preseason and ends up not really doing much or gets injured, unfortunately. Like, I wouldn't trust Jesus to be your guy. Like, I don't know. Like, we had that feeling with Martial. Oh, but Martial this season looks ready. He looks like he's, you know what I mean? Like he feels different, and then it don't work out for him. So I don't think he's gonna buy him. I think Marino will be the last signing Arsenal buy, and that is it. Havertz, Jesus, you got Trossard, you got Saka, Nelson, and Martinelli. That's their front five, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I generally don't think they will buy a striker.
Sometimes, I
go
think sometimes continuity is important, though, right? Like, if he believes he's got the nucleus of a championship winning team, then he needs to just add little bits in here and there. Like, Manchester City don't do loads. I know it's easier for them because they've signed a lot of players, but like, defensively now, Calafiori, obviously Jurriën Timber will be back as well this season, I assume, so there's options there. I think the biggest one for me is, listen, I don't think they'll get a striker either, obviously. Maybe we'll see a different Jesus, bit better season from Martinelli, but the real big one for me is on the right. Just back up for Saka. They need something, because they're going to run this kid into the ground. I mean, he's phenomenal, and you can always bank on him, but he can't be playing every single game. And now Arsenal fans as well, like Rom said, maybe going out of the cups early might have been okay because they were going for the league, but I just feel now the squad's bigger, you got depth all over the pitch by the right. It's like we need to be fighting on all fronts, not just in the league. It's not just enough. And like Rom said, maybe Arteta thinks, do you know what, I probably could do with a trophy just to keep them away from the door a little bit as well. And you need to have a deep squad for that, right? You can't play Saka all the time. So I think that's the real issue for me, because there's plenty of players out there they can go and get, surely.
Yeah, 100%. Like, for me, I don't know, man. You know what it is with Mikel Arteta? Similar to Pep Guardiola. Like, they want to suffer to win. Don't get me wrong, they've had players that they got 100 million, but they do like to do it their way. They're quite stubborn. You feel me? Like, other manager made it clear they want signings, whereas I think with Arteta, he still wants to do it the right way. You know what I mean? And win it in the fact that he's actually coached a Havertz, you know what I mean, and Martinelli to a league title. But at the same time, like, I don't care who gets the goals in it, Dan. Like, when you win the league, Potsy, you won the league, innit? You know what I mean? But it'll be great, man, for Arsenal fans. 20 years on or 21 years on, you win the league. You know what I mean? In 2025, it'll be amazing for you lot, man, because like I said, you've been suffering for years, man. And I feel like with Man City as well, it's about how they motivate themselves. Like, bro, you're winning 5 in a row. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody. Like, genuinely nobody. So the fact that Arsenal can't motivate themselves to win it, I just think for me it's, bro, that'll be for me the biggest damage. Because someone talked about mentality there as well. Mentality is key at Arsenal, and maybe they don't have that.
That for me is the biggest question mark for me, actually. It's not who we're going to bring in and how we're going to play. Are we going to change this position? Who's going to turn up? Is Arteta good enough? For me, have we got the mentality to get across the line in the big games when it matters? Because we've got to be able to go to the Etihad and win this time. We've got to be able to go to Anfield and win this time. We've got to be able to go to Stamford Bridge and win this time. We weren't able to do that last year. Add on to that, we weren't able to beat Bayern Munich away or home. We weren't also able to beat Villa home or away. And we weren't able to go to St. James's Park and get a result. So for me, mentally, there's still something, a question mark over big games that Arsenal just can't quite get it across the line. And people that say it's because they're young, I'm not really having that anymore, Saeed. Like, they're in their 20s now, these guys. They're not kids anymore. You know, they've had 5 years of a management, 5 years of experience now. For me, how many more times do you need to go to Anfield to get used to it? How many more times do you need to go to the Etihad to know that it's actually quite a hard ground to win there? Like, what are we waiting for here? What do we give them? Wait until they're 28 until they can win? Like, that's still another 5 or 6 years away. So for me, I don't really buy this like kind of Arsenal were too young now, because Haaland's young. He's 22 years old and he's been the top scorer for 2 years running now. So let's just be
for real.
be real. Do you know what I'm saying?
Can I add on to that as well? You're spot on, because when you've got young players that have had 100+ experience, are they now young? Maybe they're young in age by the number, but in terms of football, they're not young because they've had a lot of games under their belt. So I think you're spot on. I don't think you can brand that they're young anymore. They're players that have played, got 2-3 Premier League seasons under their belts now. So I think you're spot on.
Yeah, and I think as well, Roms, like Gabriel isn't young. Gabriel's like a sort of mid-20s now. Declan Rice, he's the experienced player. You've got players now like Bukayo Saka at 22 is young in age, but let's be real, has been playing 5 years of football now, pretty much at the very top level. You've got players like Zinchenko and Jesus.
That won the FA Cup, innit? Saka was in the
That's
squad.
what I mean. Yeah. So he's been there for that long. Zinchenko and Jesus are in their like late 20s now. And they've experienced winners. You know, they've won stuff at Manchester City. Thomas Partey and Trossard are 30 and 29 years old. So I'm not having this young sort of squad stuff anymore, man. So for me, the manager needs to get across the line. I actually agree with Roms. I think a domestic cup this season is coming to Arsenal because I think we have to take them seriously. If we put them in the bin and go all out for a Champions League and a league, we're going to be potentially disappointed again. Everyone's going to go, where's your trophy? So I think we need to be serious about the FA Cup and the League Cup. And let's be real, right? In the last 2 decades, the two of the most successful clubs have won the League Cup the most times, Chelsea and City. Now, a lot of people will say, well, of course they are, because for me, like they've got the best squads. But when you look at it, they've been successful because winning breeds confidence. When you get to February, March, and you've already won a League Cup, you already know what winning is like that season. That's massive for me. So I want to see Arsenal take that seriously. And people can laugh and say energy drink cup and we don't care about that. It doesn't mean nothing. Mate, Arsenal, when I grew up watching Arsenal and supporting Arsenal, that was the first trophy we won.
Yeah,
so of course I want to go see it. I want to see Arsenal win it. And people laugh at it and go, energy drink, that's awful. It's not awful. It's a trophy, man. Like, go and ask George Graham if he thinks it's awful. And Tony Adams and Ian Wright and Paul Merson, who won it when I was growing up. Do you think they thought, this was an awful energy drink cup? Remember we won that awful energy drink cup in 1993? No, they're not. They're saying, remember we won that trophy double against Sheffield Wednesday in 93, 94. That's what they're talking about. So I think we should take the domestic cups really seriously. And I look at what Arsenal have done so far. I think it's about a 3 or 4 out of 10 at the window, man. It's absolutely shambles what we're seeing.
Wow.
It's been so bad, man. Calafiori, great signing. What else? What else is there?
This is where I tell you to be grateful because some clubs haven't signed anyone.
Yeah.
Listen, I the reason I say that because I actually disagreed with what Rom said for the first time. I wouldn't always agree with what Rom says normally, but I actually do think we needed Calafiori because I don't like Zinchenko defensively at all. I think I might as well play Saeed there. Honestly, he's better than Zinchenko defensively.
But do you know what, Dan? The only reason why I said that is because the way, not you personally, but the way your fan base was going on about Timber, but then I suppose you can't bank on the Timber.
That's why.
Fair enough.
That's why. So I understand people will say, why did you get Timber for? What was the point of Timber? Well, listen, he's had 9 months out and he's already got a knock in pre-season. You can't just say, okay, now he's back.
He's out again.
He's back now. He got a knock. He's back now. I think he's fine for a week tomorrow. But he is fine. But he's going to get that. When you've been 9 months out, you might get a little niggle here and there. So you can't rely on him now just to be fit for 40 games at left back. Zinchenko was fine against Lyon and Leverkusen, but he had to do nothing defensively. The minute he got questioned, what happened? Salah went goal. So in pre-season, I've already seen Zinchenko terribly at defensively. So I think Calafiori will come in and do a good job there, man.
Question about Zinchenko, right? Because I proposed this to my boy, because I asked fan. He's not really for it, but I'm not going to sit and say he's a bad player because he's not. He's a hilarious left back, but he's not a bad footballer. Don't you think you can push him into that? Maybe instead of a Jorginho, push him into the kind of that left 8 role because he breaks lines. He's a great passer. He's got vision. Wouldn't you, if you're Arteta, try that? Because I think he could thrive in that role. And he got
That's his original role, by the way, Roms.
Yeah.
Say that again.
That's his original position.
Yeah, for Ukraine.
For Man City.
You're right.
Ukraine, he's played there for Ukraine. He's obviously at City. He was always playing in that kind of inverted role. And when he does play there for us, he's in the bloody midfield after time anyway. Because you know what I'm saying? He ain't interested in defending at left back. That's for sure, bruv. So for me, I've always thought there's a potential for that. But it doesn't look like Arteta wants to try it. He's so obsessive in playing in this inverted left back role. For me, I don't think it will be there for a long time. I actually think it will have to start tomorrow because I don't think Calafiori and Timber have played enough minutes in their legs to start there, but I could be wrong. But for me, he's not a defender. But in terms of Arsenal's window, it looks like Merino could be close. That's fair.
Yeah, that's
But
close.
other than that, man, like our
I'm
left hand
intrigued to see
side.
what Marino's like. Obviously, well, Euros is Euros, isn't it? But I'm intrigued what he's going to be like because people are comparing to Saka
That's
and
a great
whatnot.
fee as well, Saeed. For 30 million,
30 million,
very
nice,
good.
nice. 28, nice age.
Yeah, it's a good signing, man. It's a good signing. And I think, he's got a lot physically imposing, aerial threat, 6'2", experienced head, leader. He has the captain's armband a couple of times for Sociedad already. Just won the Euros, so full of confidence. I think that's going to be a good signing. Like Rom says, it's good money. But I need more, man. Because at the moment, Reece Nelson and Eddie and Vieira are still on our bench. And
that's the biggest issue for me, Dan, is you mentioned that those players are still there. The fact they squabbled with Marseille over 3 million for Enquiries is just ridiculous. You just let him go. It's clear profit, whatever you get for him. Yeah. And that'll be the biggest issue for me. If Arsenal don't win the league because we feel like their squad wasn't good enough, then it's moments like that where Edu's just got to go, do you know what? It's 27 or 32 or whatever it was. Just take the money. And that baffles me because freeing up Nketiah, his wages, getting 25 million on the books, probably allows you to go and bring in Sesko when you were going after him. Do you know what I mean? To give him a little bit more in terms of wages or something like that, or go and get the Gyökeres deal done. And just, you know what it is with Arsenal? You don't want to miss out again by such a small margin. You need to remove that. So you need to go and back Arteta in the market. And not that you haven't, but don't just bring Calafiori. Overkill. Go and bring in a striker. Bring him in a centre midfielder if he wants one. Bring in cover for Saka and give him no excuses not to put up the best title challenge possible. And if Man City still win it, then it's because it's Pep or Arteta isn't good enough. And then you can make your decision at the end of the season. Because that's the most important thing for me, is that Arsenal, as a club, have to go out strong, have to start strong, have to go and win the League Cup. And by the time we get round to the run-in, they have to absolutely have had no Aston Villa games, no Fulham games from last year where they've wobbled and they've gone down. Fulham went down to 10 men and he fought for a draw. Like, it's games like that. Arsenal can't be doing that anymore if they want to go and win the league. And you spoke about mentality.
Even away from home, I think Arsenal went 1-0 up. I think they took
them games were.
That's it. I think Paulinho got sent off, didn't he? Is that the game? Craven Cottage or something?
Paulinho got sent off that one, but we were 1-0 up and we lost 2-1, and then we were 2-1 up and they had 10 men at the
That's
Emirates.
The game I'm thinking of.
Drew 2-2. That was the one. But for me, listen, our left hand side needed sorting, right? So Calafiori and Marino 100% has come and brought that in. But we need more up top, man. We need firepower.
You see what he said about Calafiori, by the way?
Well, go on.
He said, I fell in love with him a year ago. I saw something different, an aura, a charisma, a presence, not only related to his skill.
That's crazy. Like, come on, that's a little bit.
That's something that I think that guy would say, that Edu Hang, the guy, that fake journalist on Twitter.
Oh, Eduardo Hagen.
How are you admitting that you sign a player for non-footballing reasons? That's kind of mad, isn't it?
Yeah, he does say stupid things, man. I mean, like, the guy was having people pickpocketing a whole of our team the other week. I mean, what is going on here?
Robs, you killed me with that, by the way.
Where's my keys? Where's my phone? Where's my keys? Where's my phone?
You know what?
That was my guy. He went to my private school, my guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a DJ at my private school. That
was a throwaway thing. I was just on the train and I just thought, this is funny because I can just imagine him after the meal. Where's my key? Where's my phone? And when I used to watch British Got Talent, it just came in my head.
But he was in my school disco in year 6. He was my guy. He lived on the outside of that. You know what I mean? So he was a legend, man. Right, I don't know where he is now, but I hope he's well.
You know what though? Like, Roy Keane summed it up really. Like, when, I don't know if you saw the overlap the other day where they said about it. And they said, oh yeah, he did hide a load of pickpocketers, and Roy Keane went, that'll win him the league.
Yeah, I know.
That is quality. Like, that is just so true, man. Like, he does all these weird things, Arteta.
Like the light bulb,
don't work out.
Stuff,
like, the light bulb, playing the speakers at Anfield, all this cringy stuff.
Remember how he gets to work as well?
Like, sometimes I like to stay the A, the A12, then the M25, M6, M5. I was like, look, shut up and win me some trophies, man. Stop talking rubbish like this.
It's as simple as that. Once he gets the Premier League one over the line,
if he wins a trophy, no one cares about it, and no one laughs at it because they go, "What a genius thing! He had all them pickpockets to make him alert." Look how alert.
This one here,
good, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so annoying.
It's
Honestly, so
crazy.
there's so much that he's done that's just like you are just a weird geezer at times. And then the bloody RPR don't help, man. That bloody question yesterday, I don't know if you saw, they said
What?
the Arsenal have got a very good looking left back now with a good looking manager as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on
What
here?
is
Like,
going on,
who
man?
cares about
Man,
this?
these lot.
Just win me a
Dan,
damn trophy.
You've got a banner in your stadium, the best looking Spaniard in the football.
Embarrassing. If I wouldn't get done for criminal damage, I'd rip it down, bro. Honestly,
Some of your
it was
banners, by the
embarrassing.
way, are unbelievable in the
Absolutely
Emirates. They are
embarrassing, man.
shocking.
It doesn't
Yeah.
help when the guy goes and buys a dog and calls it win when we don't win. I don't get this. This is the thing that I can't stand about it all. Just go and win me a trophy. Don't stop buying dogs and calling them win, and gerbils and calling them trophy. Just go and bloody win one. I can't stand it, man. Honestly, I
Bro.
hate the PR Arsenal. It drives me insane. And every time we lose a game, another one of these will come out with Ian Wright. Hey, no, it doesn't matter. We lost 3-0 to Leeds or Fulham. Another kit's coming out. Come on.
Not Leeds,
I don't
but
care,
yeah.
man.
Calm
Jesus.
down, man. Calm down.
Yo,
Like that.
BDB done. What are you saying about Man City, man? Are they going weaker in that? Because I'm looking at no Rodri, like I said to you. They've got. I think for me, Chelsea's gonna beat Man City on the weekend. I've already called it like 2-1
Really?
Chelsea. Yeah,
This
bro.
is-
I think
this
Chelsea
is
will win.
before Rodri.
Come
This
on.
is before I had the
Battered us
Rodri.
They battered us in pre-season.
Nah, that's pre-season, fam.
No, it's not
Chelsea
because
win that game.
we haven't changed.
Dan,
That was only
Dan.
3 games ago.
Do you know what it is? It's not even really for like football and reasons. You know, like last game on the Sunday, the bridge will just be up for it.
Yeah.
And City have historically not really started well the last 5 seasons. They're still in the league, but I can just see you not taking. But it's weird. Like you won't even
Haaland
play
bangs
well.
a hat trick. I think Haaland bangs a hat trick.
Yeah.
If we win 4-3, I'll take it. But I think Haaland bangs a hat trick against this defence. He got 2 in pre-season, and he's only going to be sharper and fitter. I just don't see any differences in Chelsea's defence, really. I don't think going forward, we might be looking at Mark Gui starting. I'm not sold on the fact that I think Chelsea will be winning that game comfortably against Man City.
Trust me.
I'm happy it's first game of the season, though, because if it goes
Yeah,
horribly
That's
wrong,
why you're gonna win
get
it.
it out of
It's
the way.
first game.
Look, if we win it, I'll be over the moon, obviously. But I don't think I've seen enough in pre-season to feel like really confident about that game. I'm just excited about what could come after that, and potentially like we get that out of the way. Then we've got quite a good run in of fixtures and hopefully do something. But Man City, I think they've got weaker, but I still don't think that's going to affect them too much because their squad still isn't as bad as what it was. Like, not it was bad, but they're stronger since they got Haaland and Alvarez. But they've only removed Alvarez, but they've got this Salvio guy, and Pep. I think he's going to change up the system a little bit. I think he's getting some. Yeah, I think he's getting some direct wingers back into his side. We haven't really seen that since like Sane, Sterling days. But he's got obviously Bob's got himself injured, which is absolutely gutting because I thought he looked unreal in pre-season. Salvio, obviously, he's come in. Is that Savio? Whatever his name is, he looks pretty sharp, direct. They've obviously got Doku's still there. James McAtee's getting back in the mix. They've got a lot of sort of directness out in the wide areas. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pep changes it up a little bit this season, but I still think they'll be absolutely fine. But I've got a feeling they're going to absolutely capitalise with direct wingers and Haaland in the middle and maybe build up from the wide areas rather than centrally as much this season. I still think it's their league title to lose. I think if Arsenal go and buy themselves a striker,
looking forward to this one, man. This Chelsea City one, I don't know what I'm going to get because City, obviously, well, you know, you're going to get from City. It's the wrong thing to say, but I don't know what I'm getting from Chelsea, man. And like Don is telling me that they're going to be fine and it's all going to be top three.
Yeah, Don's
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch this Chelsea side fight for third. That's all I'm looking at. Do you know what I'm saying? Don's told me it's happening. Don doesn't lie.
If
Come
we
on, Don.
fight
sacked
for
by
third, that would
Christmas,
be
man.
absolutely
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He'll be sacked by
I
Christmas.
just don't, Joe. As much as unless the results are woefully bad, I just don't see it because Poch's
Or you think they'll
results,
just keep the fifth?
I do, mate,
Like-
because Poch's results at times were horrific, and he weren't gone by Christmas.
Poch has gone to USA, by the way. That's
Yeah, that-
wild, man. Why has he gone to USA? I know the money's well,
got
but
to be money in it. But they've just
that's
taken
grand.
Emma Hayes and Poch. So if Todd Bowley's been on the phone to someone, I wouldn't be surprised. By the way,
You would think he want to
Wow.
prove himself after.
it's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But,
So-
but just going back to City, I think for me, losing Oscar Bob is a devastating blow because he could have been like almost like a fresh signing that could have been starting week in, week out. But now I look at their forward line. Don't get me wrong, they've got Alvarez, no, they've got Haaland, they've got Savio, Doku, but I feel like they're relatively Like Grealish, like, are you gonna get a consistent Grealish this year? You know, what else is that? They're attacking, like, don't get me wrong, like, but is it gonna give you like guaranteed? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a system that everyone's talking about with Guardiola. The system is what keeps them kind of maybe, so superior. Rodri, if he gets injured or gets suspended, bro, who had he got?
That's
KDB, one more year, like, I don't know.
I watched the obviously community show game, and they've got that O'Reilly. He's a unit.
He's a unit.
Yeah, but however, to ask him to deputize for Rodri in case Rodri gets injured for let's say Rodri gets injured, God forbid this happened, but for like 3-4 months, and you're asking him to step in. I don't know, man. But the thing is, to answer your question, side, the reason why I still think City win this league is Pep's just a genius in the sense that he'll play a type of way of football. People will copy it. For example, Arsenal and Liverpool. Pep did the inverted thing straight away. Then Arteta did it. Then Klopp did it. Then he will abandon it and think of something else. He's forever evolving. He's forever changing things. And that's why I just can't look past City winning the league. City will face adversity made for a game or two. Pep will be like, I need to change this or that. And you don't know what he's going to change, but he's going to change something. And then they just go off. So to answer your question, it's literally just him. I think if City had another manager, I would probably make Arsenal favourites for the league. Probably comfortably. I'd probably say Arsenal in the league. But Pep is just a common denominator. But
I think it's Haaland and Pep. They're the complete different makers for me in the two squads.
Rodri, man. Rodri as well.
Well, true. Yeah, but I think your midfield can be okay. I don't think you've got one player on the level of Rodri and what he offers to a team. Like, it's indispensable. But if you've got your full midfield in flow and it's playing really well, I think it can control and run every single game it plays in.
I think you're right, Dan. What I think, though, is that I think if Rodri stays fit at City, they are a different level. Like, he's out tomorrow, isn't he, for Chelsea?
Yeah, he's out tomorrow.
Sunday. So, for me...
Is that the reason you think... Probably McAtee?
That's mad. Yeah, McAtee, Kovacic,
or like one of the centre backs, because he's or Rico
Lewis, probably.
Nunes, you know what I'm saying to you? It's mad.
It's crazy. Rodri is so important.
Even Kovacic could play that role if they're desperate.
Yeah,
he's played it for Chelsea before. Rodri's a massive miss for them, and I presume, that's why you feel like Chelsea have got a bit more of a chance now, because any team without Rodri in isn't the same team. Like the point that Dan's making there, but I just don't know whether Chelsea have got enough going into that game. I don't know right now, looking at Chelsea's squad, if they've got enough for top four with the situation that it's in right now. So, considering we're talking about Manchester City winning a league and an unprecedented fifth in a row, to say that Chelsea might have a chance against them feels a little bit off for me, but you just never know, do you? Dan, they do start slow, you're right.
This question is also for FPL reasons, but you said earlier, I don't know if that's
Gooey.
Gooey. He might start. Does that mean Jackson's injured or is he carrying a
So Jackson's not been 100% fit all pre-season. He started working his way back in, but he didn't even start against Inter Milan, which was only a week ago. So you just don't know. Mark Gui's had a good pre-season. He's only 5 million, by the way. He's on my bench in fantasy football.
yeah.
Now, look, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be starting going forwards throughout the season. I think as soon as Jackson returns to fitness, they'll probably go with him. But he's been okay. He's impressed me, considering he was like 6 mil. He's done a good job. He works really, really hard off the ball. But I don't know what level of fitness. Mark Gui.
Oh, yeah.
Gui. Yeah,
he just looks like a Justin Bieber kind of wannabe. Like, he just looks like
he's got like the TikTok haircut and everything.
Yeah, he's got the TikTok hair. And he's got I don't know, man. We have to see much of him, but for me, man. Okay, let me ask you a question before we move to top four. What's the highest point total this season? Joe, I'll go with you first. Highest points this season. Because last year, it was 89, was it, or something?
90.
So this year, what does it end with? I think this year's going to be competitive. Guys, competitive.
Wait, City won it with 90 points?
Yeah, we got a 91, wasn't it? We got 89.
Yeah, I think it was 91 or 92.
Yeah, it's 91. We got 89. Yeah.
It's going to be up there again, I think, to be honest. With the two, with Arsenal and City, to be honest. I don't think it'll be too far from that, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, 91 and 89 it was.
I think Arsenal have to get 95 points, and then I think that puts them in an unbelievable position to actually make it happen. I don't think 100's not realistic, but I think if you can pick up 95 and correct do exactly the same as last season and correct 2 or 3 games that we've spoken about, like I think you win the league.
Yeah,
You know
I mean,
what, Dan?
you make it sound easy there, Dan, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I genuinely think that
yeah. No,
when
you're
you've
right.
got a
You are
team
right.
as good as Arsenal, it's about fixing tiny things. And I think Joe alluded to it a little bit earlier. I don't know if that's why Arteta's a little bit hesitant to like upset the apple cart, because he knows he's so close. It's a couple of tweaks. It's on him, or it's on an individual mistake, or it's on the team as a whole to just up their performance that tiny bit more. And they're watching Manchester City get apparently weaker in front of them. This is the chance. For me, if Arsenal don't win it this year, Arteta is the one who's under the pressure. And I think then next season, potentially you go and look at someone else if you don't win it. I think Arteta has to win it, has to win League Cup as a minimum, by the way.
And Dan, I think you're spot on, because if Arsenal don't win the league this season, for their players to lift themselves up again, knowing you've been in 3 title races on the bounce and not been able to win, I think that could be detrimental to up here for a lot of their players. I think you're spot on. I actually agree with you. I think 95 plus points. I don't think anyone will hit 100. To hit 100 points is insane. What City done that year is unprecedented. And to hit 100 points, that's that guarantee. You have to win that 33 game minimum and be able to drop points in about 5 games. But I agree with you. I think 95 points puts Arsenal in a great position. But I think probably City win it with, I'll go slightly higher, probably like 93.
Yeah.
It potentially just could come down to the head-to-heads. That's the level of quality.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We've got
the top
now,
6 battles, away points. So
but
we don't see, man.
Yeah, but you say that, but even City weren't unreal in their head-to-heads against the big 6 last season, were they? They were flat-track bullies, 100% though.
Yeah, but if Arsenal rectified them little mistakes against the lesser teams, then it could come down to just them 2
games. I see, Joe. Yeah, 100%.
Would you say like there's an argument that the league could be won probably in the 80 points region? Because there's a lot more quality in this league. Like, you're seeing likes of Bournemouth and Fulham and that buying players.
Well, Bournemouth have bought a player for 47 million.
Exactly. Like the quality of this league every year, whether you want to put them as entertainment the best, you're getting relegated clubs signing, do you know what I mean, 30, 40 odd million players. And
that player that Ipswich bought, man, he's a player. I don't know. I think Joe
Calvin Phillips, yeah?
No, that one.
Sammy Schmodix. Yeah,
he's
they bought Schmodix. Unreal.
Because, you know, Archer's just gone to Southampton as well from Villa.
Yeah. Good signing.
Ipswich are going to do it, man. Come on. Ipswich are
I think they stay up. That's my hot take.
I think he's going to stay up, man.
They've got McKenna, who plays unreal football, and they got a great squad. Like
they have bought some absolutely superb players. Liam Delap, Calvin Phillips, Ben Johnson over at West Ham. They've got Mari Hutchinson.
Johnson went there as well.
They also got some whole player that's a baller, by the way. What's his name?
Jacob Greaves. Jacob Greaves.
Yeah. That's a good one for fantasy, by the way. Jacob Greaves.
Watch out for Leif Davis, the left back. Obviously, he was at Leeds, but we sold him. But yeah, he got 18 assists in the Championship last season. So if you wanted
brilliant for them.
18. If you want a cheeky FPL asset, he's 4.5.
Yeah. Okay.
I need all these. The deadline's in like 2 hours. I was going to say as well, I think from 1 to 10 in the Premier League, I think anyone can literally beat anyone on their given day.
Bro, I'm telling you, I wanted to discuss that. By the way, there's 987 people in the building. We just went past 99k, which is amazing. Wow. We're literally 1,000 away, from 100k. So big up to everyone. But if you could like the video, that'd be amazing. Make sure you're following everyone's channels as well. Links are in the description. But yeah, 295 likes. Let's get up to 500 likes, people, before the end of the video. Top 4. By the way, is there a possibility for top 5 this year, or is it only top 4?
No, we can get it. We can do the top 5 again, I think, but it obviously depends on European football.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, Saeed, it means you winning the Europa League.
Yeah.
Not getting knocked out in group stages.
If Chelsea put up a good run in the Conference League, it could keep the bottom line high as long as we don't get a Man United performance.
Do you know what? Though, when you look at it, right? I know Real Madrid are just insane, but United actually, how dare I mention Spurs? United should be winning the Europa League, in my opinion. Yeah. Arsenal or City, I'm already seeing the bookies. Or Arsenal and City are in the top 4 clubs. Arsenal being ahead of our club for favourite, by the way, annoyed me. Regardless of where we're at, it still annoyed me. But Arsenal City could win that. And then, Chelsea should be winning that. Like, it shouldn't even be a question of, even with your second string team, you should be winning that competition. 100%. So we should.
Yeah, well, we've got our qualifier this week coming up after the Man City game.
You got Dan.
Serviette from Switzerland.
Wait, you got to qualify.
I swear, mate, we got Serviette home and away to get into the Conference League.
Oh, you're automatically in
Nah,
it.
do you know what? I find it quite. I never knew. Obviously, I didn't pay too much attention to Villa, but I find it quite outrageous that, or even West Ham when they qualified, that you have to have a qualifying game for a Premier League team to get into this competition. I find that crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy. You know, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but UEFA give every team like a score, and Chelsea are on like 24,000 or something, and the closest competitors in this are on like 11.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
we got top two, yeah. Like you got United, you got Aston Villa, you got Liverpool,
Newcastle,
you got Chelsea, you got Newcastle. Who are we saying credible top?
Even West Ham have had an unreal summer transfer window
Bro,
as well.
What my issue is is that a lot of these teams that I'm quite fearful of that could cause problems have got one game a week this season. Newcastle, Brighton, and West Ham have all got one game a week this season. And I just think they're going to cause havoc this season just by having one game a week. I feel like they'll be fresh every week. And we don't need players rocking up every week. Like, you know, when you just like say now you think to yourself, right, we got Europa League on the week on Thursday, you got a game on Sunday, and you're watching the games on Saturday thinking, yeah, man, West Ham going to lose this week. And then you realize they've smacked up a team 3-0. That's what's going to happen this year.
I'd watch out for Bournemouth as well. I think Areola had them playing unreal last season.
Yeah.
Obviously, losing Solanke is a tough one to take, but like you said, they're just recruiting players for like 47 million.
They
so
bring the striker in from Porto or something, is it?
Yeah,
Bro,
I'd watch out for them. They really impressed me last year. Actually, I think he's a really upcoming manager.
I was a bit too premature, and this is why I should have just stuck to my guns and not make predictions till the window finishes. You know, I had them to get relegated because I'm thinking maybe they might not replace.
Bro, I put them in.
Now it's changed.
Changed. I think the teams that are already in. I think Wolves, Everton, they're the ones that I'd look at for me. Maybe Forest, but I'd kind of back Nuno to do an okay job with the players that he's got. No,
I think Southampton.
The ones that have come up, I think the jump is so big anyway, and I think we saw that last season that every team that came up struggled. But I'm looking at Wolves. I'm not sure about them, and Everton obviously are getting point deductions left, right, and centre. So for me, off the bat,
Wolves
I think
obviously losing Kilman and
Wolves, their
Neto,
squad's been decimated over recent years, and
they
they're
are
not
gonna
really
struggle,
spending. I mean, they've got that striker who they bought in a few seasons ago, who's had like knee injury after knee injury, fit again apparently, Kaladzic or something. But I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think Forest will struggle. I think. You know,
honestly, Roms, I don't really know. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But Mosquera's finally been promoted into their like defensive line, so it just shows like they're really like scraping the barrel for talent.
I only know this from fantasy, right? There's a player called Fraser he's quite popular. A lot of have picked him, but I don't know who that is.
You think they've lost? They obviously lost Jimenez. Was it last season as well? Like they've just kept losing their players.
Yeah. Even Wolves, man, they bought in that Danish striker who scored goals.
Oh, really?
For Celta Vigo last season. I don't know if you know him. Is it Danish or Norwegian? So, boy, like I'm looking at the league and I'm like, every team has got a good 3 or 4 players. Back in the day, you could never say that, you know. Like Brentford have got Tony, Mbuemo, Wisa, you know what I mean? Carvalho. Like they've all got their little bits and bobs that they can do with. Like every team has got a little bit of like firepower, and I like that for the Premier League. Newcastle as well, yeah. Big up Sophia is in Norwegian. You know, even Newcastle, bro, they've not lost any key players. They're about to get Mark Gahey for 65 million, which I think is crazy money, by the way. But they've added to the squad. They've not really lost anyone. Listen, people are
nailed on top 4, you know. Nailed on top 4 for me.
Well,
you think so? Newcastle.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. Thank you, Joe. I got absolutely rinsed on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I got rinsed on Wednesday night by all of them, man.
You think so?
Yeah, go back to last season. Obviously, they had the Champions League. They didn't have nowhere near the depth to deal with that, right?
There we go, Joe.
They then had crazy injuries on top of that.
Mad.
Crazy on top of first time in the Champions League. So now they've got a fully fit squad. They've kept the best players. Bruno Guimaraes, they've kept Isak, they've kept Gordon. They're going to add to it with Mike Gahey, for example. Botman coming back, obviously, he was out for a while as well. Even Nick Pope in goal, obviously, last season they had Dubravka. St James's Park. I just think, for me, one game a week, that Newcastle side, they will do bits. Like you've said, there's so many competitions not for them. I just think, and someone like Gordon, point to prove, barely played in the Europe, right, I'm going to show what I'm about. As long as Isak can stay fit as well, I think they'll still add some more bits. So I think for me, and Tonali back as well. Someone's just mentioned Tonali.
Joelinton and Chris Willett will be big additions.
You know what, with what you said, you're actually bang on, because I feel like I disrespected them.
I think it's recency bias, in it. We go, oh, nah, they were terrible last season. But when you actually
look at it, it is, man.
Nah,
I had this on my channel. They're all Lawless going, what? Because he obviously wants me to put West Ham ahead of Newcastle. Bloody hell. And then I had Don going, what? They're rubbish, because he wants me to put Chelsea above Newcastle. Well, I think one game a week, no European football, with Tonali, Joelinton, and Bruno G in the middle.
Oh, you know what, Dave? Sorry to cut you off there. D's messaged me saying another bid now, 65 million rejected. So they've
rejected the fourth one.
Fourth bid.
I think Palace are holding out for. I think once you hit the 70 million mark, I think
that's crazy. But then again, Harry Maguire costs 85, man. So it's like them man are demanding more money for these players, man. Like Harry Maguire was the one that ruined everything. It ruined everything.
Off the back of a good Euros as well. I mean, listen,
and they're losing Anderson possibly to Fulham if they come back in.
Anderson was at Fulham before, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He went crazy. That's such a backwards move for him, by the way.
They're kind of the same level, aren't they?
No. I think it's not a backwards move. I think for me now, people are realizing like, yo, we have to compete now with these little teams like Crystal Palace and that, like, because they've lost Elise. They're thinking, rah.
What did you call them? What did you call them? Say it again. What did you call them? Just so D, you're listening. What did you call them? Little teams. Yeah, nice.
Let me use the right word.
Yeah, but Palace under Glasner were unreal finishing the season. I think Anderson's crazy to go to Fulham. They're miles off.
They're similar level. I don't think
similar level.
Fulham finished like what 12th, 13th last season? No.
But do you know what it is, Dan? I rate Marco Silva, and I think Smith Rowe coming in, Menez, whatnot. I still think Fulham are.
Palace had the 5th best defense in the league last season. If they lose Gahey and 5th, and if they and Everton were 4th or 3rd, I think. If they lose Anderson and Gahey, wow, that I'll start asking questions then, because that's their defense being ripped apart.
It's still Eze as well. Eze, right? Elise is gone. Mateta might. I mean, I think they're probably lucky he went to the Olympics, because people might have sniffed around Mateta, but now obviously he's no pre-season, etc. But if he has a good start to the season, I think in January people could look at him. So it feels a little bit like Glasner's having the rug pulled out from underneath him, I think, a little bit.
Yeah,
they lose them. My goodness, man. They lose them. Palace will definitely be in a relegation battle.
Well, unless they make 100 million down to replace him.
Bring back Zaha, man. Bring back Zaha. That's what they need to do.
Who they bringing in with like 5 days to go?
He's going Leicester, isn't he? Is he not going Leicester, Zaha?
No, he got rejected. He flew back to Turkey a couple of days ago.
Bro, man.
He's not, man. You lose Eze, Elise, Gahey, Anderson.
Their legend, Ayu's going Leicester as well. He's their legend at Palace.
Ayu's rubbish. But, it's another one. Basically being depleted, man. You cannot be. You're going to be in a relegation battle, man.
I was going to ask, do any of you think he leaves? Because I think he gives them one more year.
One more year.
Maybe. But then they're going to have to keep him, man. They can't sell all these players.
Say next season, Eze doesn't have like an unreal season and gets injured. I think that move disappears for good, and you're talking about him staying there like Zaha did.
No, I still think he's a baller. How old is Eze, by the way? How old is he? Is he
26?
26, yeah.
Yeah, so he just turned 26. Not too bad. He's still in his prime, innit? You know what I mean? Like, he's a player because of his position as well. He can have longevity. If he was a winger, then fair enough. Because he's in that midfield, I reckon he could play for years. You know what I mean? So
proper like for me, Palace they need to keep hold of these players, man. They cannot do this. They cannot just let them be depleted.
They're my local team, so I'll have a soft for them. I don't want to see them losing all these players, man. Unless you want to give them to us, I would love Eze and Gay. You know what I mean? I'll be the Robin Hood. You know what I mean?
I used to like Palace because of Wrighty and all that, but then I met D, and now I don't like Palace.
Yeah, I know exactly, man. D makes me not like Palace, man. You know that was there.
You know that one fact can make you despise the whole
Palace, whoa. Like they got good fans, like. You know what I mean? And also, they're going to lose Wharton next summer without a doubt. Man City and United are going to come after him definitely next summer. That's a long-term
He's
target.
a baller, man. He's a baller. I don't know if they can keep... I reckon it'll cost a lot of money, though. Probably about 80 million. He's shouted out Blackburn. This is why I always say to people, like, Championship, people need to start scouting in the Championship. There's a lot of balls in the Championship, man. But people don't want to go there.
Yeah, me and Dan, we had that conversation, didn't we, a few months ago, actually, about that. We got slaughtered for it and had to defend ourselves. But, like, that's an amazing talent pool.
The team that's brought in the most money in Europe is Leeds United.
Yeah, there you go. 250 million, Joe, in it or something?
So you're talking Rutter, Somerville, Gray, all these other players like Kamara. No, Kamara Rangers, but he went to Rennes. Nonto's still there as well. So
Nonto will go for around 20-30 million. How old is Nonto? Is he 21?
He's young, 21.
You seem buzzing about it, Joe. You seem really happy.
Oh well, they haven't fucking spent all, have they, man? I genuinely feel we've got the skin FSG with the 49ers, mate. That's what we.
I'll be Yorkshire in you now, Joe.
You know what, Joe? Quickly, off topic. How's my boy Joe Perot doing? Because you speak about Championship. That's a player that I've looked into the Championship last couple of years, and I really liked him, especially at Swansea. But by your face, he's not doing well.
Man. You know what? He scored. He was the Championship top scorer 2 seasons on the run. Then he came to us for like 12 million, and he does nothing, man.
Yeah.
But it's like
that's sad, man. Because I had high hopes for him.
Rutter going to Brighton for that money. And bro, all of a sudden, do anyone look at Brighton differently now?
Nah, because there's big question marks about their manager, isn't there? Yeah. Like they're not confident. Yeah, well, some of their fans, I've heard they're not confident in him at the moment.
Is it?
Because he's
their attack is ridiculous. They got Adingra, Mitoma. They got that absolute rapid Minte.
Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck. They still got Ferguson, who's unknown.
João Pedro. Yeah.
João Pedro.
They've spent a fortune this summer as well. Go on the transfer market and look at what they've bought in, like random players who you don't know, proper Brighton signings.
Let me see.
You know who I think will be
There's like loads of little 20 million ones. Like they're just doing what Brighton do.
Enciso as well. Do you know who
the left back, Caddy Goglu, is it? The left.
Oh, he's about to come as well.
Yeah, he'll be.
Do you know who I think will be a big loss?
Barco, Estupinian, like they've got good players.
Pascal Gross, I think that's a big blow to them because
that's a loss.
He's such a baller.
That's a great move for him, though, isn't it?
I'm glad he's gone. He's got about 12 goals against United, you know. Look at this, though. 35.
This is what I'm saying. Look, who are these
players?
Who's
this guy? Who's this guy?
Gruder, 30 mil. Osman, 20 mil. Like, just putting up money for players you've never even heard of. You go on FIFA, these are like bronze cards.
Kozia Dubry's a good young player.
Yeah, man. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for Kozia Dubry, man. Real talk. Keep an eye out for Kozia Dubry. He was a baller.
How many wingers have they got, fam? They got hella wingers, you know.
That's their manager, by the way, on the right, Fabian Herzeller. That's the manager, 31. He's younger than half of us in here, isn't he?
He is.
That's
I think you were bringing the age down on that one.
They did sell Undav though for 30 million, which is not too bad for them. You know what I mean? Yeah, they sell him.
I don't know about Brian. If I'm honest, I'm not feeling as confident as you guys. I'm not. But
the
thing when you recruit like they do, or you get managers like they do, it has a shelf life. One time you will get it wrong. And when you get it wrong, it'll, you know, let's be honest, we've all spoken in the past about how great Southampton's academy were, right? Yeah. We all spoke about how the Leicester model, buy cheap, sell high, Kante, Maguire, all these players, them two teams were in the Championship. Listen, I really like Brighton. I really like Tony Bloom. I'm not being shady at all like that. I just think a club like that, because it's never going to be like massive because it's small and all that sort of stuff. Eventually, they will get it wrong. Like, they will make an appointment that just goes to shit. And then, you know... And then I think they're on their toes enough to sack him. They're a very astute, alert club.
Although they've had like their squad absolutely, in terms of staff and players, decimated, they just keep refreshing it. It's the Tony Bloom algorithm that he's got, like that in place. That's made him a billionaire, and it makes Brighton a very, very good sort of mid-table Premier League side. Like they don't mind if they finish. Well, they probably want to finish for Europe in terms of the value of their players going up. But if they finish 11th, they'll take that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. You know, when you deep it, they'll take that. They'll absolutely take that. But yeah, like I said to you, they've lost Gross. I'm just glad Gross ain't playing for Brighton anymore. You know, because this guy always scores again. And like I said, bro, that third game when we played it's gonna be a difficult one. I think we played it. Is it second game, guys, or third game of the season?
You play us third. You play us.
Oh yeah, no, we play you third, innit? So it's next week. And it's on a Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Aye.
It's Brighton, mate. Yeah, you got Brighton. Brighton. Yeah.
We got. Obviously, we're playing tonight against Fulham. Smith Rowe hopefully doesn't do us over. But you know what, man? You know me. I'm a very emotional fan. Yeah, and last year was tough. But I'm very optimistic about this season. You know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the owners. Maybe it's the fact that we've got good signings. But I don't know. Something about this season. I'm like,
it's not Ten Hag getting you excited, is it, Si?
No, it's not. It's not. Nah, genuinely, it's not. I just think it's like nothing should fail, man. Like, well, I say that, but like, I feel like everything's there for him to succeed now. He's the most backed manager since Fergie. He's been given all the tools. He's got all of his Ajax players there that he's probably wanted. You know, I don't think there's any more Ajax players that he could get.
De Jong, it's the last piece of the puzzle, isn't it?
He's got a full 11 that's directly been involved in the Dutch league that he's probably had some encounters with. Bro, I just don't see how it fails now. Like this season, I expect third.
Famous last words, bro. That I don't see how it
third,
fails.
man. I expect third, guys. And Liverpool will be there. Don't get me wrong; they will be there, and we'll be fighting for that. But
you know what it's United, with United, I rate even cool. You know what we'll just speak about Dan and Potts when we speak about not really rating talent in the Championship. I rate Sanderberg even when he was linked to us. I didn't want him as a first teamer, but I want him as a squad player because I rate his technical ability or whatnot. But even with the signings you've already brought inside, I rate your signings, but I think the one guy who I don't trust, and long may it continue, is Erik ten Hag. I don't dispute your quality at all, but he's the reason why I actually think you win Europa League. God forbid it happens, but I do think he goes 3 for 3, he wins another trophy. But I think your league form, I just can see him doing stupid things like, Ahmad was fit from about January and he just didn't play him in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. I just think he'll make in-game decisions that are to your detriment. But he will win another trophy. I can see him winning another trophy. It makes me sick. But
we'll win the Europa League. I think the Europa League will win.
I think he will as well. It kills me to say it. I genuinely think he will.
Yeah.
But
I think Chelsea are a threat. Don't get me wrong. I think Chelsea are there. I think they'll cause issues. But I think right now, I'm cool with what we're doing. I see the plan. I see the vision. So now it's like, just make sure that But my thing is, though, the worry is Thursday, Sunday is a big killer, man. Like,
what are you gonna do tonight, bro? What's the plan tonight? Like, do you think you'll beat Fulham?
Yeah, well, I think we'll beat them convincingly.
Will De Ligt and that come straight in? Like,
De Ligt, Mazzarri will start for me. Yeah, 100%.
So I've got Dalot in the fact. Are we saying that?
Yeah, Dalot will start.
And Garnacho?
Garnacho, yeah.
Where's Dalot playing then? Left back side.
Oh, Garnacho won't start?
No.
I'll have to make some changes.
Yeah. Chelsea top 4?
Chelsea top 4? Nah, 5th, I think. If we get Osimhen, it might be a different conversation, obviously. But right now, 5th, I think, is the highest Chelsea can.
What's the top 4 predictions? I'd be interested in that. People.
Okay, so mine
I was
is.
going to ask the same thing for.
Because I've got to go in a minute, so I want to hear.
Arsenal, Man City, United, Liverpool.
Arsenal to win. Love you, Saeed. Saeed. I'd love. My top 4 is Man City. I just don't think Arsenal have done enough yet. Arsenal to come second. I'm going to keep Liverpool in third. And I'm having Newcastle in 4th because I think the 1 game a week thing. I think players they got, man. That's what I'm going with.
I think same, but Arsenal to win league. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Newcastle.
Come on, Joe.
I think Manchester City will win the league. Arsenal 2nd, Newcastle 3rd, and I'm actually going to say Spurs. I think will sneak into the top 4 over Liverpool. Liverpool not getting a DM is crucial for me. I think that is too many issues in that squad I can see right now.
Do you know what? There'll be a natural drop off. I'm just relying on individual brilliance. Sure, McAllister's, Trent, Salah, Jota. If Jota can stay fit, who knows the season, but for me, it's City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. I know that might raise a few eyebrows, but I just think Maresca's not going to do. Maybe I've been speaking to Don too much. However, I just don't think I just don't think Maresca's going to make some of the tactical changes that Poch did. And I rate Chelsea. I had Chelsea to finish top 4 when Poch got the job. I rate Chelsea's players. It's just putting it together. But I think this is where it gels for them. I could be wrong.
If we get Felix and Osimhen, I think it becomes maybe a different conversation. But right now, on what this current squad is, I'm not sure I see us breaking in. I think a one-place improvement is minimum, though. If you sack, I've said this, if you sack Poch, and you have to improve. If you spend the money that we have this summer, you have to improve.
Do you know what, Dan, as well? You lot need to win a trophy because whether Chelsea have been down in the dumps, finishing 12th or whatnot, you always get to the latter stages of most cups, whether it's a final, semi-final. We've been responsible for most of them, of course. Like, I just had to chuck that in.
Yeah, no, you have, 100%.
But I think you'll win it. I actually think...
Sorry, boys, I've got to go. Rob, big up, man. Love Rob, love Dan, love Joe, love Saeed. In a bit.
Come on, bro. Love.
Big up, all of our clubs on the panel. Joe, I know you started off bad, but I do think you win the Championship. I think United win Europa League. I think Chelsea win the Carabao. Sorry, I forgot my club. Everyone but my club, I think, wins a trophy this season on the panel.
You think Carabao? I don't know. I think I see Conference League being our only real shot this season, to be honest with you.
I think you'll win the Carabao. I don't know what it is with Chelsea. That's just a trophy you always seem to get far in, no matter if your team's very good or not good. Chelsea always get far, always for some weird reason.
What about the relegation? Before we kind of wrap things up, what about relegation, Joe? What are you going for relegation wise?
I actually think Ipswich could stay up. I think they might have a very good impact, a bit like Leeds and Sheffield United did in previous seasons, catch people on the fly. But I do think Leicester will finish rock bottom. They've not done enough. They can't get players over the line. They've got a points deduction incoming. Southampton the same, although they do play some good stuff at times. The other one, I genuinely, honestly...
I'm going Everton.
Could be their time. Could be. But I just think defensively they'll be too good, mate.
I think Everton go only because of like outside influence in terms of point deductions or something. It might just be too much for him to keep overcoming them.
I tell you, won't go as well, by the way, until they sack the manager, West Ham. I know they've done great business, right? But it wouldn't surprise me if you see David Moyes there before the end of the season because they try and get away from this man. I'm just not convinced on Lopetegui. Like, this is the same guy that told us Wolves, why need players? There's nothing there. They're going to go down. And Gary O'Neill came in and took them up the league. I'm not convinced by him at all. And they've backed him massively. And I would argue a lot of the players are players that would have been great for Moyes. Like, that's the mad thing. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not convinced on him.
My thing with West Ham is there's always that team before the season starts where you think it's all glitz and glamour. They've signed all these players and it just doesn't quite work. I think West Ham... Do you
remember when Fulham spent 100 million and then they got relegated, didn't it?
You remember Forest as well? Forest spent 100 million.
Look when Spurs did it and they bought in one day Ramos, do you remember? And they bought a load of players and they ended up down the bottom end of the league.
Off the Bale money, were like their recruitment was similar to this, wasn't it? And it was atrocious in the end.
I've got West Ham at 9th or 10th, but I agree with you, Joe. I just think that's the one team. They've bought quality players. I'm not disregarding their players. I think Somerville's quality. I think Fulkrug off the back of that Champions League final and the Champions League campaign is quality as well. I feel like I'm forgetting some names.
Kudus is quality, man.
I think they brought in Kilman. They brought in a lot of good new signings, but I don't know. I just don't know.
They brought in a DM from Betis, who apparently is key to the system or something like that.
Yeah. Betis, yeah.
And then even when you look at their depth, like Antonio, James Ward-Prowse, they've got a lot off the bench. Ings will probably go, but I think on his day he can still be a handful for some defence. I just think West Ham actually have the depth and the starting 11, but I just have that weird feeling it just doesn't work. Maybe it clicks the following season, but I think this season, I don't know, man. I think West Ham are going to underwhelm a lot of people that have high hopes for them.
Okay.
I think Wolves go down, by the way. I got a feeling Wolves go.
I forgot about Tadibo as well.
Yeah.
I knew I was
recruited well. They signed a young Brazilian winger as well. Who's like 18
on the right. Are you sure, just Joe? You know what I mean? Gilherme.
Yeah.
Bro, he's a Brazilian baller, man. Apparently, they all saying good things about him, man. So, bro, West Ham might be the team to kind of go and watch this season. You know what I mean? When on Saturday's a mad day for football, man. If you're watching Saturday football, you got Liverpool first, You got Arsenal on the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Then you got 5:30 West Ham. You know what I mean?
West
And then,
Ham Villa's gonna be a game.
Yeah, that's a good game, isn't it?
That's
bad game.
Other than my club, I'm looking forward to that the most. That's gonna be a game, man. That could
What's
be
your-
game of the weekend.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Fantasy as well. Everybody got their fantasy ready.
You got a league, Si? Come on.
Yeah, man. Anyone, if you want to join my league, join it
Wait,
right
what's your
now,
league?
guys.
I'm gonna join it now.
Join it. Well, where's the league? Where do you go on here?
Click
This one.
on click on the league. Oh, there you go. Boom.
Right, if you
What's
want to
the
join
code?
my league, guys, Barcelona, I'll be watching as well. Oh, that's not it.
What's
Press
that
copy
little
that
code
link,
at the
Si.
top?
Copy that link and put it in the chat. Or
Oh, yeah,
description
there
or
we go.
something.
There we go. Yeah, last chance to join my league. How long have you got to join the league?
About an hour. Or join
hour,
it next
yeah.
week and join it next week and be like miles behind on the points.
Last chance to join the league, man. Last chance. Let me put it on Twitter.
Wait, Dan, is that how it works when you've joined the league late? Like, are you still
Yeah, I
behind?
think your scoring starts. Sometimes your scoring can start a week behind.
I didn't know that. I'm quite savvy with fantasy, but that I didn't know. I thought you could join any time. And it
You know,
automatically-
boys, I'll make this announcement for everyone. It's 5. You can build up to 5 free transfers as well this
No,
season
I knew that.
instead of,
Yeah, I knew
instead of
that.
2 or 3
I
in
see
it.
that.
So people need to be aware of that.
If I'm being honest, yeah, I've got a spreadsheet, right, that's got 3 fixtures and 5 fixtures, so I can look, see who's got the best and go
Oh, shit, I
build them
forgot.
up.
Who should I put as captain in my
more,
team? Here?
man. More against Ipswich.
Bruno, penalty tonight. I can see it now, Si.
I'd say Isak. I can see it Isak brace.
Isak, yeah.
You know, I'll
Isak's a
reveal a
good
little
shout.
my secret. I've got Isak. I've generally got Isak as captain. I think Southampton.
Oh, is he captain already?
Nah.
Yeah, he's a
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's captain already. Yeah, he's captain already.
I've got Big Mo. Where's Haaland, man? You can't go in with that early.
Nah,
you know.
man, I'm
You
getting selected,
cannot.
man.
Joe, you're foot on.
Who should I make vice captain? Not Cole Palmer. Maybe
Salah.
Salah, man.
Salah against
You know
Ipswich,
Salah's
yeah.
going to get his penalty tomorrow or
But
something.
the thing is, the good thing about my team is that it's just nice and steady. Feel me?
Very good team, you know.
Yeah, man. What's your teams? You got it on.
Thing is, in case people are watching, I can't reveal that side because I'm taking it very serious. Shit.
Wow.
However, I'll message you privately. I'll message you.
Post the code. All right, let me post the code then. I don't know what. Where's the code?
Yeah, I've got Kwanzaa at the back, man.
Yeah,
4.5.
yeah,
He's going to
I've heard of that.
start, man.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
start
got
the first
place
few.
over- Yeah. You know what, Joe? Not even the first few. If he carries on his form from last season, United could struggle to get.
There's a
get-
code.
Let me get
If anyone wants to join, there's a code. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Tomorrow, nice day, early start. You know what I mean? Just football after football. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Oh, is
And
that
you
your
know
team?
what,
then,
Sam?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my team, mate. That's my team. If you can
You know
Let
what
me
makes me
quickly
sick,
work.
side, yeah? If you don't win as well, you know when you played it early, you could just sit back.
You know what? You know what my title's gonna be today? Yeah, shameless. It's gonna be United top of the league.
That's what Rand said as well. You know, just shameless.
Bro, I'm
man.
gonna be like top of the league, man. Top of the league.
Might
So
have
yeah,
to
you
zoom
got
in on that one. It looks a bit small, but
Henderson,
decent.
Kwanzaa, Gavadio, Makalenko, Saliba,
Dan,
Hudson-Odoi,
We
Saka,
think the
Son,
same. My
Yoko,
team's very similar.
Isak,
Very
Haaland.
similar to yours.
Okay,
I like that.
okay. Say no more, fam. All right then. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
very good.
The bench
yeah,
is there.
that-
The bench. You don't need to look at the bench, man.
yeah. I mean, so yeah, man.
Chris
Very-
Wood, man. He's the man. He's the third striker. Chris Wood, one to watch.
They got
Yeah.
unreal fixtures, didn't they, to
Yeah,
start with
man.
for us?
That's
so.
what the
Have
spreadsheet
they?
came in for, Dan.
Mm.
You see, the
Oh.
first
They got
three.
three really like winnable games, I'd say.
Okay, but then again, they always make everyone always says that, and then they end up losing.
But they make
You know
it.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
the Forest will make it hard for themselves, won't they? But
Yeah. But listen, people, I'm going to wrap up because I need to head over to Old Trafford and get some content and whatnot. And yeah, man, just get ready for the season, man. You know what I'm saying too? Just Joe, let them know where they can find you. Anything going on?
Just Joe. Yeah, that's it. I'll be doing a watch along of that game tonight, up Fulham and all that jazz, and then Leeds play tomorrow. So yeah, Emile Smith Rowe's going to do bits tonight. Let's get it.
Come on.
There we go, man. Dan, what are you saying, man? What you got coming up?
yeah, live every day on TikTok on my channel. Trying to do that this season. So tune in if you're enjoying the content. But pleasure being on, Si. Appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, man. Roms, big up, man, as always, man.
Big up the panel, big up the chat as always. Smash them likes and yeah. Quickly, side, if you just want to remove the like thing, gonna plug my new, not
Yeah,
new
big up,
podcast,
man.
but new episodes come out. Don't know if you lot know the artist Blanco, Man City fan. He's actually valid. He actually supported City before they got good. But if you go to Total Media 851, we've just dropped an episode there. So it was debating what's harder to make it in football and music. So if you're interested in that, give it a watch. But
Yeah. 100%, man. So yeah, make sure you follow up people, like the video. And yeah, man, I'll see you tonight. I'll be doing a match reaction and I'll be live at around midnight, maybe, just to kind of talk about the game, player ratings, stuff like that. So yeah, man, tune in, people. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a wicked Premier League, regardless, guys. We will be there.